Yeah, we just ordered them. I needed to, but I had it. My wife gets mad because I don't go through the shit on the freeway and they just send them in the mail or.
Yeah, that's just a hassle. I mean, if you go get it. Well, if you was going through that, outstanding.
Well, they pay you or they just bill you, but then if you don't, so like the one didn't, I don't know what it did. It didn't like, cause they have like glitches. All of a sudden I got like a $40.
Which then draws
Yeah,
down.
so
Andy's
the
fund
total
balance.
cost
So I
me
purposely put some
$50.
stuff
Well,
back.
they have a one
Right.
time and out thing, like you can call them, you know, and I,
True, and
somehow
they-
Sandy's pickup got picked up. Well,
Yeah.
I swear it said the Narrows Bridge. You know? I'm like, we didn't, go- I was in Oregon that day. I know we were not over there. And then it was,
This number
year,
will true up and it'll be
year
somewhere.
prior. I mean, it took them like a year and a half to get it to me. Anything.
That's what she brought.
Yeah.
And so we'll actually.
Yeah, we'll wait. It's Connie.
In January.
I was just, yeah, no, I guess
We're
it's
gonna have
will
to-
come a little bit greater than that and it'll probably come a little less than that. Yeah. Yeah, totally. That-
All right. It was just.
Oh. So. So that's what they go off of, less and less.
All right, we still got some folks coming in. Well, and Connie, I believe, is supposed to. What's that?
Just say that they can. sit
Yeah.
there.
We've got seats open over here in the, towards the senior center. Just grab a seat wherever. And we.
That's my next.
Okay, it's a couple of minutes after 6 here. We're gonna start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Do we have Connie on board yet? Okay. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call of the council, please.
Here.
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 Here. Here. Bender, absent, Reed.
Here.
And just let me know if Bender comes on. Well, we have one council member not with us tonight. She may be zooming in. All right, any additions, deletions, or corrections this evening?
I move to approve the amended agenda as presented to council tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next, we have a possible cancellation for a council meeting.
Move to cancel the December 24th, which is Christmas Eve city council meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we have public comment and everybody's allowed 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes if they choose. And do we know who signed up? This is open to anybody in the audience. Just state your name and if you're a city of Buckley in the city limits resident or not. Let's see. Mr. Sutphin, yay or nay? No, okay, I see your initials here. I didn't see a yes or no. Okay. James Ricks.
I am James Ricks, and I'm here to thank the maintenance department of the city of Buckley that fixed the sidewalk, grinding it down and making it safer. So kudos to the department for a timely manner in which they fixed it. Thank you.
Yep, you bet. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. You getting that done? Who else do we have that's signed up? Tony? Would you like to go now or at the end? Okay, perfect.
Everybody, Tony Frasconi. I live in the city of Sumner. But my job is labor representative for the great workers of the IUOE Local 302 city employees right here in Buckley. So I'd like to just make a few comments, and I know I've got the timer going, so I'm going to do my best. Hello, Mayor, City Council, Courtney, City Administrator. I'm here to ask for your support for your employees, the represented employees of IUOE Local 302. For nearly the past decade, the represented employees have received contracts with small COLA adjustments, 3% and 2%, things like that. While they've seen city executives and other non-represented city officials receive between, anywhere from 10 to 20, upwards of 30% in one given year over time. And the union employees have really felt like this is their time, that they've worked hard and they deserve a fair contract. Shortly after the pandemic, when inflation was so high, I, as the union rep, engaged the city to talk about wage adjustments and looking at market adjustments for certain positions or for all staff because they were falling far behind. I was told that the city, would not negotiate, would not open a contract at that time, and that they would at the next time when it opened in 2023. In 2023, when we sat at the table, hopeful again that it was kind of our time to make up some ground for the staff, we were asked for a one-year extension because the city was working on its budget, its biennium budget, I believe it's called, that you guys just have instituted. And being the great labor partners that we are, again, we put our personal interests aside, and we accepted a one-year extension to the contract. And through it all, the membership has remained hopeful that the city would live up to its promises for the staff. Inflation since 21, in 21 it was around 7%, and 22 it reached up to upwards of 10%. In 23 it was around 6.5%. So we're looking at upwards of between 22 and 24% in that time. And the represented employees have received about 8% in those years. When we started bargaining for this upcoming contract 7 months ago, again, we were hopeful. And when we met for the first time, the city told us it was in a deficit and was trying to figure out, how to move forward. And we were the first proposal that was passed to us was 3%, 2%, and 2%, 7% for another 3-year contract. May I continue, or should I start?
Yeah, I'll give you about another 30 seconds because I'll have to give everybody else.
Okay,
that's fine.
Thank you. We've been, despite that, we've instead of pounding our fists on the table and feeling disrespected, we've worked as good labor partners and worked with Courtney closely to overcome lots of different things and issues, and we've made good progress overall. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. And the budget you're about to pass tonight gives 4 different employees anywhere from 14 to 20% increases in 1 year, where we're asking for $120,000 for 22 employees over the next 4 years. Almost half of that cost in each year of a 4-year contract. So we feel that we're weeks away from contract expiration. The membership's made it clear to me that they will not work without a contract. And some of you are teachers, I believe, in the community, and you know what that means, working without a contract. We don't do it. We want to work and have a contract and not be extending and mediation and things like that. We want to continue to negotiate with the city. We're hoping the city will listen to us because December 31st is coming up quickly. And it sounds like the next city council meetings, has been canceled. So we're meeting tomorrow. We're excited to meet with the city's attorney and share proposals that hopefully can move the needle in some direction and let us and your staff and everybody enjoy the holidays with their families and put this dispute behind us. We trust that somebody here tonight is listening. Somebody has their interest at heart. Somebody wants to do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How much time did we add, just roughly? So, or just keep track of anybody else that wants to speak. Okay. Another minute. So 4 minutes now. Okay, James, we got. And, Leon, did you want to speak? I couldn't tell if that's a yes or a no. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, I'm the janitor here of the buildings here. I love working here. It's a great job for me. I'm sure it is for everybody else. I think when I'm at home and it's piss pouring rain really bad, I sure don't want to get out of my bed and go on call. They do. Those are things I think about too, And just because the contract is said no, that doesn't mean that contract could be saying yes. So, let's find some other creative ways, I guess, And, it's kind of sad that an attorney has to get involved, but here we are. So, can we find a way that just makes it a little bit easier for both sides to get along? Because, man, I tell you, this city is growing. And you need people that have some skills behind them. It's going to make the city that much better. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anybody else like to speak this evening? And there'll be another chance at the end of the meeting, another 3-minute window for anybody that hasn't spoken can speak again for up to 3 minutes. And for those out in the hall, we do have maybe have a few more chairs or tables you can sit on over here if you please. Or you can stand, that's fine too. Anybody else like to speak before we move on to regular agenda items? Carolyn, did you want to speak?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Carolyn Robertson Harding here tonight as the newly elected president of the Buckley Chamber. I want to personally take a moment to thank our past president, Allie Santman, who's here tonight for her leadership and service to this community and to the chamber. We will reach out to the city administrator for an opportunity to introduce our new board to the council and plans for 2025 in January. We want to thank the mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members that were able to attend the grand opening of Denny and Sarah's McDonald's, the newest members of our chamber. We greatly appreciate your support. We also want to be clear that we do not have a position on the negotiations between the city and its employees. And we do support people's First Amendment rights and free speech. However, our current chamber members run businesses every day for the livelihoods of their families and their employees. We believe our businesses provide significant revenue to the economy of this city. We also donate countless hours to provide and support several community events each year, like the Trick or Treat event and the S'mores event at the holiday event on the 30th. Why are we here tonight? We want to let the operating engineers members know that we would have preferred that they would have chosen a more appropriate time or location to informationally picket than at events focused on the holiday season for families in our community and the McDonald's grand opening. Thank you.
Thanks, Carolyn. No, thank you. Anybody else like to speak before we move on? Okay. There'll be another opportunity at the end if you hear anything that during the meeting that you'd like to weigh in on. All right. Committee reports, Senior Citizen Advisory Commission, Councilmember Bergerson.
So Senior Citizen Advisory Commission, we met on December 4th. And there wasn't a whole lot that we went over. There will be a job posting soon for the vacant position at the senior center. Currently, Jenny Killinen from the youth center is filling in, and hours have been extended for Jean. Some seniors have expressed an interest in extending hours of operation for the senior center. So the commission decided to extend hours on Mondays and Tuesdays to remain open until 3. They will close on Thursdays at 12:30. These changes will start in January of 2025. The 2025 work plan for the commission was discussed, and there were a few more items that were added. People had some new ideas, so that was kind of fun. Discussion on where seniors would like to go on day trips, Trader Joe's and the casino trips have been well attended and will continue. Other ideas such as museums and restaurant trips were suggested. Meeting dates will be the first Wednesday every other month, starting in January 2025. So that was about all for a nice little meeting.
Okay. Thanks, Denise. Okay, I saw you looking. Okay. All right, Planning Commission, Councilmember Arsano.
Planning Commission met on December 2nd. It was the same thing. It was a pretty fast meeting. The discussion topic was PSRC comment letter. Mr. Farnsworth explained that PSRC comments have been addressed and added to the new revision. Planning Department has been working on the commerce checklist. The commerce checklist is almost complete. We briefly discussed the climate element and its due date of 2029. Planning will begin work on this portion of comp plan in following years. There was a public comment concerns of selling city-owned land to low-income housing at discounted rates. And then concerns with the map of fire danger zones created by the state and Department of Natural Resources, which we'll get to review at a future study session.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
All right, consent agenda.
Is claims and payroll and approval of the June 11th, 2024 city council meeting minutes.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And did Tony's not, okay. All right, into the regular agenda, first ordinance.
Year-end budget adjustments.
Move to approve ordinance number 16-24, amending the 2024 city budget.
Second.
Okay, and Director Hines is here for questions, comments, and concerns. Anybody on the council have concerns, questions for the budget amendment? Okay. Thanks, Andy. This will be a roll call vote.
Nick.
Aye.
Burbank.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Arsano.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Next item is ordinance number 17-24, adopting the 2025 city employee salary scale.
Move to approve ordinance number 17-24, adopting the 2025 city employee salary scale.
Second.
Okay. And we have either the city administrator or Director Hines here for questions, concerns, comments, anybody? No? Okay, this will also be a roll call vote.
Anderson.
Yes.
Smith.
Aye.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Arsano.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is ordinance number 18-24, adopting the comprehensive plan.
Move to approve ordinance number 18-24, adopting comprehensive plan ordinance.
Second.
Okay. And Ron, question?
Well, just yes, it's a question and a comment and conversation with a well-informed community member and somebody. This is my 8th year on the council, and I know that we have gotten several TIB grants over the time. I'm talking about Hinkleman Road and other projects, money lost. I heard the city administrator say that if we did not get this certified, that we would not get any grants. So I just want to clear that up because we've been getting grants. We have not had a certified comp plan in a long time. And so I just want to clear this up that that's not the case.
Our last comprehensive plan was updated in 2015 and it did receive PSRC certification. So our current comprehensive plan is certified by PSRC and the Department of Commerce.
Meaning the state and the county.
So our current one, when did the one that was certified expire, or what is our deadline? Is our deadline 2024?
Yes, every 10 years, we have to do a periodic update of our comprehensive plan. And so we are required to update all of the revisions. They put out, Department of Commerce and PSRC each put out independent checklists that all planning cities, so that's everyone in within the Growth Management Act cities, which includes all in Pierce, King, Snohomish, most in Washington State. We are all given a deadline to make adjustments to meet the requirements of the checklist by a certain time. And our period is the end of this year. So our periodic update is due by January 1st of 2025. So we have to have it adopted by the end of this year in order to keep that certification, which we currently have with our comprehensive plan from the last periodic update when the process was similar. They provided us with checklists. We met all of the requirements of those checklists and then submitted it to those departments for certification and received that certification.
Thank you. That explains to me why we have gotten these grants in my tenure here. So thank you for the explanation and the timeline on the plan certification.
Okay, and Brandon.
Yeah, last week I expressed concerns around the densities, so I appreciate city administrator taking the time to further explain some things and also to catch an error that the urban high density numbers here were inflated at the time and they've been pulled back. Also, what I learned, my biggest concern was the pressure on the fire department and having to get a ladder truck if we had to do these high densities and such. Going forward, if we vote on this tonight, that doesn't change the zoning map. We still have to talk about that. And that's where we can set guidelines and, be compliant with what the state's requiring of us, but also set guidelines that we're not setting ourselves up for trouble down the road. So I look forward to those conversations, but I'm not as concerned as I was last week. Still concerned going forward. We have a lot of work to do after this, but some of my concerns have been alleviated.
Great. Oh. Okay, perfect. Okay. Anybody else? Questions, concerns, comments? Councilmember Bender, I understand you're with us. Did you have anything on the comprehensive plan vote before we vote? Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns?
No, not really. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, well, it'll be a roll call vote here in just a second. Okay, go ahead, Treva. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I jumped the gun. Denise, you had a question.
It looks like we need to amend the motion. So I move to approve ordinance number 18-24, adopting comprehensive plan ordinance with revisions on page 46 through 51 and pages 86 through 89.
Okay, Treva, if this is your wheelhouse, do we have to retract the previous motion? Okay. Okay, and
I made the motion, so I'll retract my motion.
okay, and the second was, okay,
Oh, sorry, I retract.
okay, okay. And then- okay,
Second.
okay. All right, and is that all you had, Denise, or did you have other? Okay, thank you. Okay, now we'll start with Bergerson.
Aye.
Perfect.
Aye.
Arcano.
Aye.
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 Green.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is ordinance number 19-24, amending Buckley Municipal Code to regulate camping in public spaces.
Move to approve ordinance number 19-24, amending Buckley Municipal Code to regulate camping in public spaces.
Second.
Okay, and Director Snodgrass is here for questions. This has been a long time coming, but I think we're here, we're there, so as it were. Anybody, questions, comments, concerns on public camping ordinance? Okay. All right, this will be, I think our last roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye. Burbank.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye.
Marzano.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item is resolution number 24-10, amending the city taxes rate and fee schedule, revision number 3.
Move to approve resolution number 24-10, amending the city taxes, rates and fee schedule revision number 3.
Second.
And City Administrator Brunel is here for questions, comments on the taxes, rates and fees schedule. I know for those of you in the audience that aren't here all the time with us, we chew through a lot of this stuff behind the scenes. So there's not generally a lot of questions once we get to this point, but sometimes something new pops up, so. Through study sessions and so on and so forth, so. This will not be a roll call vote. Oh, that'd be me. Waiting for treatment. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Establishing a small public works roster process to award public works contracts and a consulting services roster for architectural, engineering, and other professional services.
Move to approve resolution number 24-11, establishing a small public works roster process to award public work contracts and consulting service rosters for architectural, engineering, and other professional services.
Second.
Okay. Questions, comments? Director Banks is here as well as City Administrator for questions, concerns. Okay. All right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Staff reports. City Administrator has a possible staff report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Today we did have a construction meeting for the City Hall project. Happy to report that we continue to be on schedule, still planning to have our opening in late spring or early summer. Next week, they will begin installing the HVAC electrical system and we will start to see some windows on the building. So, all positive news. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay. And we're back to public comments. For anybody who'd like to speak on anything they heard this evening. Oh, Chloe, please.
Hello. Good evening, Council, Mayor, and City Administrator Brunel. I did want to just express a heartfelt thank you to the senior citizens. I have received many letters and notes expressing gratitude for my service and just various ways that they felt impacted positively by my time and tenure at the city. I do want to just make a quick comment that it was very difficult during my time to feel very supported in my role. So I do hope moving forward that there is maybe some look to other seniors centers that are structured a little differently to help provide a staff that can really come alongside, because we are growing as a city. And there has been an increase in participation at the center, which has greatly impacted, I think, the level of service that people, adults, are expecting. So just, I do wish them the very best in that venture. And I really do hope that the city looks at the employees' feedback as a way to learn and grow through that process of just serving the citizens, because it is a wonderful job to have to anyone that is looking to serve. Okay, thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
Chloe.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else like to speak this evening? Mr. Justice, no? Okay. All right, With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Council
Oh,
member
sorry,
comments.
sorry, we're at the end. We moved this for the first time in a long time. Council member comments, a good of the order, Mr. Smith.
Well, tonight, I believe we heard a veiled threat from the 302 union rep that they're going to strike. And I'm well aware of the fact, as having been a union leader before, that public employees cannot strike. It's illegal. I'm also been aware through, we all have, through being briefed, that the city and the union, through negotiations, had a temporary agreement, a TA, that's signed by both sides, initialed on all the papers, and then taken back to the membership for a vote. I don't know what happened. Sounds like they got bad advice from their leadership. Don't know. And as far as the picketing goes, I'm all for informational picketing, but when you're interrupting a public event such as the tree lighting or an economic development grand opening on a new place for our children to have a job and a new revenue source for the city, wrong place to be. That's just my light opinion on this.
Thanks, Ron. Amanda.
So the council's aware, I am a teacher. So I have served as a treasurer for my union for 15 years. And I also recognize that union membership entails both rights, responsibilities, which are essential for safeguarding the collective interests of our workforce. A pivotal component of this is union involvement in the collective bargaining process. I've been through many of them being a teacher. So recently the city and the 302 reached a TA, but on November 26th, the 302 members voted against the proposed contract. And so since we have such a large audience here this evening, I want everybody to know what the key features were of the contract since that were presented for consideration. So their cost of living adjustments, it was a 5% increase in 2025, 4% increase in 2026, 3% increase in 2027, plus an additional 3% on the 61-month salary scale, 100% of the CPIU with a minimum of 3% and a max of 5%. Longevity pay increases, market rate adjustments for specific positions, increased clothing allowance, certification buyout for administrative staff, and the grandfathering in of medical opt-out rates. Next week, Enumclaw will be voting on a TA that includes a 3.8 cost of living adjustment for 2025 with adjustments tied to the CPI in the following 2 years. And meanwhile, Bonnie Lake's contract offered a total of 14% over 3 years, while the proposed contract that the 302 rejected offered 15% over a similar period, also linked to CPI in the 4th year. The rejected contract for the 302 represented a more substantial offer than the other contracts that have been approved or those currently under consideration in our neighboring jurisdictions. And the city does have an obligation to remain fiscally responsible. And as far as I know, the proposed contract voted down was the highest one that the 302 has ever seen.
Okay, all right. Any other council member comments? Denise?
Totally different subject. I had a citizen ask me if we could get the flag back up at City Hall. I know that City Hall is under construction, obviously, but the flagpole is still there. And so they were hoping that we could get the flag put back up on.
We can make that happen.
Thank you.
Okay. A council member Bender, did you have anything? Because I know you're on Zoom.
No, I really don't. I just-
Okay, thanks, Connie.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll be back in
Yes,
person.
hopefully sooner the better.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? All right, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, council.
Oh. The closed session.
Oh, yeah, we do have, we'll have to ask the public to head out, which everybody's going to anyway, but there's a closed session for council members here, just following our meeting.